You inherited half of your autosomal DNA from your mother and half from your father. They inherited half from their mother and half from their father, and so on and so on. While the amount of DNA you inherit from your parents adds up to 50% from each, that 50% is comprised of randomly recombined DNA segments. For example, your mother will have inherited half of her DNA from each of her parents, your maternal grandmother and maternal grandfather. In a perfect world, you will have 50% of your mother's DNA, and 25% of that will be from your maternal grandmother, and 25% would be from your maternal grandfather. But because of random recombination, you may not inherit segments from a specific ancestor. So you may end up with 21% from your maternal grandmother and 29% from your maternal grandfather. Because you inherited half of your DNA from each of your parents, one set of chromosomes from each, you'll have two copies of each location. It's not clear in a lab which of these sets of chromosomes is from your mother and which is from your father. You need genetic genealogy tools like family matching and triangulation to help with that. There are multiple possibilities for why two people match on the same DNA segment. They could both be paternal side matches, so they match each other and share a common ancestor with you on your paternal side. They could both be maternal side matches, so they match each other and share a common ancestor with you on your maternal side. One could be a paternal side match and one could be a maternal side match, so they don't match each other and they share different common ancestors with you. At least one of them could be identical by chance, depending on the size of the segment that you're looking at. The majority of your matches will be what genetic genealogists call identical by descent, meaning that they share matching segments that were inherited from a common ancestor. If parents are tested, these matches will also match one of your parents. Due to random recombination, some matches may instead be identical by chance. These matches will share smaller segments with you that are a combination of DNA inherited from both parents and an amount that adds up to meet matching thresholds. If parents are tested, these matches will not match one of your parents. This can also apply to smaller segments on identical by descent matches. There are, of course, situations where you may have matches that do have segments that are a combination of DNA inherited from both parents, not due to random recombination, and those matches should not be considered identical by chance. This will occur in situations involving either pedigree collapse or endogamy, where individuals who share a common ancestor marry and produce offspring. Out of the small percentage of your matches that will be identical by chance, the majority of them will be matches that share about 20 centimorgans or less with you. If you're investigating a match that shares 20 centimorgans or less, you'll want to confirm that they share a common ancestor with you. The quickest way to confirm this is by testing parents. If they match both you and a parent, then the match is identical by descent. To further identify which common ancestor they descend from, examine shared ancestral surnames, family trees, and use tools like the In Common With search and the matrix to form a triangulation group for comparison in the Chromosome Browser to make sure you match on the same segments inherited from that specific common ancestor. If enough parents haven't tested, then form a match group out of known descendants of the ancestor you suspect you share. Compare in the matrix and in the Chromosome Browser to make sure you match on the same segments. You'll also want to do the same with any unknown match that you suspect you share a certain common ancestor with in order to confirm that you do share that same specific common ancestor.